Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and tank pants. Last from the kickoff to the final whistle blow, we'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With the laugh and the cheer, we bring out our best.
Wasted world of sports, eh?
No expert critiques, just a
Oh, he's
bunch
copped
of
the head
nerds
right to the
sharing
nuts.
plenty of
Tedesco's butt crack.
drinks.
Ahoy!
He's nearly taken security's head off.
Post-match tales.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.
We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we
Ahoy, mate.
ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise.
How's everybody doing? Welcome along to the Wasted World of Sports. Flo Lacey, Scott Wood, Bo Jam. Ahoy, everybody. Welcome along. Friday night footy and a big double header. A game that's just been made slightly more interesting. We will segue straight into it. Thank you, Scott, because there is no Bradman Best, ruled out with a hamstring injury that he suffered at training. The talk about a big shake-up here for the Newcastle Knights. They have been attacking that left edge, and they've been attacking with great success. Add to that, there's no Greg Marju. So that left edge has been completely decimated. It'll be interesting to see how and if they recover from that. Also out, Jack Cogger. They just can't get any stability in the halves this year, the Knights, and that has wreaked havoc on their results. I've got the Eels winning this one. I had tipped the Knights all week based on the fact that every time that I've tipped the Parramatta Eels, they've gone on and lost. Look, that may very well continue, but I'm expecting them to get the win. The Eels, I mean, they haven't necessarily been getting blown off the park, right? They've been losing, but they've been losing respectfully in most cases. Games that they probably should have gone on to win, yes. But you know what I'm trying to say? They haven't been getting decimated most weeks. And I think they get the job done here. There's just too much. The Knights have just had to shuffle way too much. And of course, Zach Lomax comes back. Lomax trying to fight for State of Origin duty. Who else have we got there? We've got Shirley Graham, says go Eels. Jaden Morris, ahoy mate. Shane and Kelly, ahoy. Gamer Mel, ahoy there. Nick the only Greeky, says I have Lomax, Adokar, Schiller and Sharp. Here's what I've got. I've got Josh Adokar, the Fox himself, Dylan Lucas, and I have to look up his name, Fletcher Hunt. Hey, this is interesting, actually, before I finish my same-game multi. The Newcastle Knights team lineup. On that left edge, they're going to have Fletchers side by side. That'll be interesting. Fletcher Sharp and Fletcher Hunt. Well, not side by side, but you know what I mean. One's the 5'8", and one's out on the wing. But that's going to get confusing throughout the course of the night. There's two Fletchers out there for the Newcastle Knights. But anyway, I digress. Josh Adokar, Dylan Lucas, who is taking the role of Bradman Best here tonight, and Fletcher Hunt. And I've comboed up Isaiah Yongi and Zach Lomax. I wanted to go Zach Lomax straight, but as we know, a first game back from injury, it's very hard. We saw with Brian To'o last week. It's a bit hard to get into the rhythm of things in your first game back, but who knows? I wouldn't pack him with any confidence. That's why I've put him in a combo. And hopefully we see the tries rain free tonight. Henry, ahoy there, mate. Henry says thoughts on Gagai scoring his 300th try tonight. Would it be his 300th try? I know it's his 300th something tonight, isn't it? Is it his 300th game? Oh, Bojam, thank you very much for the super chat there on the YouTube. Very much appreciate that, mate. Nice and early. Let's see, where's my screen here so that we can get that one. We've got to get that one popped up on the screen. Third super on a live stream, YouTube tells me. And what is it? A super effective Kung Fu robot video game controller. Cheers, Bojam. I will most certainly drink to that. So, for Newcastle, yes, just too much inconsistency in their lineup this season. Guapo, ahoy there, mate. What's my thought process of Hunt to score? The Newcastle Knights attack a lot down the left edge. Basically, they've had Bradman Best out there onto Greg Marju. It's pretty much a straight replacement. I mean, not in terms of quality of player, but I can't imagine that they're going to change the way that they play too much, specifically because those two players are out. I mean, coaches and teams these days, they just want the next man up to slot into the current system. So I would have had Greg Marju if he was in the number 5. Greg Marju's out. I'm still going to go with whoever's in the number 5. And to back up the fact that the Knights love attacking down the left edge, somewhere in the region of 60% of Parramatta's tries have been conceded in their right edge defence, which marries up perfectly with the way that the Knights like to play. So there was method to the madness. Yes, indeed. Dane Gagai, that's what we were talking about. Dane Gagai, we were discussing. It is game number 300 for the Gags. I'm sure he would love to get over the try line in game number 300, but will that lead to him trying a little bit too hard? Serious question. Will he try too hard to get over the try line? Game number 300. So yes, more often than not, there is some method to the madness. And when I make my selections for a same-game multi, quite often it's just whatever I feel like at the time. Scott Wood says, what did you think of the game last night? Honestly, I didn't watch it. And here we are, Dane Gagai with his kids. Hello. Leading the team out onto the field, game number 300 for the Gags. I've gone for the Eels in this one, Gamer Mel. RTS is back for the Warriors. Yes, I do believe so. If I'm not mistaken, I can confirm or deny that for you. Dolphins Warriors tomorrow, 3 p.m. The return of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Yes, indeed. Playing in the centres. What did I see up here? SS Storm fan, ahoy, mates. I'm just making sure I haven't missed anybody in the ahoys. The knee crumbler. Ahoy, mate. UFC. Ahoy, buddy. Okay, I think I caught up on everybody. Anna Berrios says up the Eels. Ahoy there, Anna. Mookie. Ahoy, mate. War Crimes. Ahoy. Just about ready for kickoff. Chris French says up the Knights. The Knights, I think they're going to find it very difficult here with all the outs. But still hoping for a good game. Let's get it on. Newcastle, the home side with the kickoff. And Parramatta will have first use of it. Let's make sure that this scoreboard is up and running. As the Eels with the first hit up. Poppy, ahoy there. Poppy says, come on, Eels. And there is Zach Lomax getting involved nice and early. Blair 420, ahoy, mate. Not wasting any time to get himself involved in the game. First one back. Steph, ahoy there. Hopgood met hard there by Pierce Paul. I've heard rumours, actually, that Pierce Paul's getting shopped around. So he could be on the move. They can't afford it at the moment, though. The Knights, of course, many players out, fifth and last. Moses down the short side. Is Mitch Moses playing for a State of Origin jersey? Ponga's under it at the back. And Kalen Ponga, he's been kept very, very quiet this year, hasn't he? Only 70 series. Ahoy there, mate. You feel like it's going to be a tough call. It's going to be very difficult for me to call the game holding a dog. But yes, someone's been sooky tonight as Crossland darts out a dummy half and up to halfway. Fifth and last. And here's the kick from Tyson Gamble. A high ball. Not contestable, but it's taken by Iongi, who brings it outside the 20. Marcus, will I be commentating Origin? Yes, we will be doing State of Origin, the men's Origin. I told Michelle that she was more than welcome to do the women's Origin if she so desired. As the Eels with the offload and second phase play. Dylan Brown wrapped up 40 metres out from their own line. TMCRK, ahoy mate. Down the short side. And it's Kortoga. He's a big body. This is good field position for the Eels early on. Paulo out to Hopgood. Through the hands now. Moses. Cut out pass to nobody. It bounces up kindly for Lomax, who pops it up for Penasini. Penasini has to slide in the tackle to stay in the field of play. He still doesn't manage it, Penasini. And over into touch he goes. Well, I don't understand how that's not considered a second effort. They took that try off Tom Starling the other week, last week, because they said he was held. And if Tom Starling was held, then I really can't for the life of me figure out why that was not held. And therefore, should have been a, well, what do I expect? Consistency from the referees or something? Jeez, my bad. Wayne Stretch, ahoy there, mate. And the Uso, ahoy. The Knights off the hook. And they have the ball 20 out from their own line. Wolfie, ahoy. Seems like quite a few of us have tipped the Eels here tonight. Expecting a big performance out of them. So we'll have to see. I've got a 0% success rate with picking the Knights so far this season. So we'll have to see. Up over halfway. Go, the Newcastle Knights. Ponga waits for it on the short side. On halfway, he puts it high. Iongi plants himself under it. Takes it with ease, but he's wrapped up. Good kick chase there from Dylan Lucas. Wearing the number 11, but playing in the centres. Bojam says need Moses to snap a knee so Brooks can play 5/8 for the Blues. Oh, boy. By the way, there is a pinned comment up the top for those interested at halftime or after the game or after both games tonight as the Eels spread it wide to the left. And it's Sean Russell stepping back in field. Fifth and last. Brown puts it high. This is a contestable ball. Chance for the Eels. Oh, what a take by Fletcher Hunt. Fletcher Hunt, the new kid on the block. And he was put under immediate pressure. And he answered challenge number 1. That was a beautiful take. What a fantastic effort there. Yes, so in the pinned comment on YouTube up the top, I have selected my Blues squad for those who might be interested in checking it out. Crossland down the short side with Ponga. Takes them on. Oh, he's been wrapped up by Kortoga. Fifth and last, just inside Eels territory. Gamble gets the kick away, just in the nick of time. Oh, and taken in the air there was Isaiah Iongi, and that should be a penalty to the Eels, and it is. Penalty to the Eels. TMCRK, I am a blue, through and through. Six minutes gone in this one, no score. Moses thumps it into touch just short of the halfway. And now carrying it beyond Luca Moretti. Good opportunity here for... Oh, well, it was. And then Jermaine Hopgood goes and spills it. Oh, dear.
Gosh.
Down it goes. They had great field position. It was tackle 1, and Jermaine Hopgood just spills his lollies. Jim Condon, ahoy, mate. Another let off early here for the Knights. It's a bit too early to tell, of course, but geez, the Knights, they haven't looked threatening at all. Kalen Ponga's injecting himself up in the line. But, yeah, nothing really happening at the moment. 6 again for Newcastle. This might help them. 40 out from the line. Cut out pass to Frizzell. Now Gamble. Through the hands they go. Hunt on to Gagai. 30 out, or 300 out, it says on the field because of Dane Gagai. Frizzell again, ball playing in midfield. Ponga, cut out pass for Hunt. Hunt gets on the outside of Lomax. Lomax drags him towards the sideline. And then Iongi dives on the loose ball. It might not be Iongi, actually. It's Mitch Moses. Parramatta, though, diffused the situation. But Fletcher Hunt, he's looking the goods out there on the left. Greg Marju might find it hard to get back in the game, back in the team. And good defense from Zach Lomax, a nice early test for him, since he will likely be playing State of Origin. As I said, pinned comment up the top, my Blues squad selection. Iongi, dummies, almost goes through. Pierce Paul wraps him up nicely. Fifth and last, Moses puts the high ball up. It's not contestable. Hunt lets it bounce, and it bounces kindly for him. That could have gone sideways very quickly. Jad, thank you very much for the rose on TikTok. Cheers, mate. As the Knights now start from inside their own 20. Alan Owens, ahoy there, Alan Owens. Is this game going over 45? You know what? I would have said yes. And it still might. But I was expecting a try by now from either side. Down the left edge they go again here, the Knights. As I said in the pregame, they love attacking down the left edge. Oh, you want to hop down, do you? Fifth and last. The high ball is taken, 20 out here for the Fox. Bumps off one, bumped off Gagai. And the Eels back in possession. Lay, ahoy there. I don't think it's raining, Ghost. Lay, thank you very much for the rose. I don't believe it's raining, no. That's seems a little moist. And there's not much of a crowd, so maybe it is. But I can't see anything on the TV. Moretti now, fends away from one, gets it back for Paulo. They've got an overlap here, the Eels, and scooting straight through with support on the outside is Jack Williams. Still going Williams, beats Ponga, and he's brought down 10 metres out. What a run from Jack Williams. 10 from the line. Moses fires it out to the left for Brown. Brown straightens, gives it to Iongi, and Iongi's wrapped up a great one-on-one tackle there. Fifth and last. Brown just to the left of the post, puts it high, crossfield kick, and it's taken in the air by the Eels, and they've come up with the first try. Who's come away with it? It's Mitchell Moses, is it? Brown to Moses. Wow, that'll do his State of Origin bid quite nicely. Secure under the high ball, Mitchell Moses with the first try. And wouldn't you know, I thought about putting him in my multi. It's always the players I'm thinking about. Jack Williams beats 3, beats 4. Set up that try and got them the front foot ball. Beautiful kick from Dylan Brown and taken by Mitch Moses. 4 points to 0, kick to come. Moses with the first try. That would have been paying a pretty penny as well. Only 70 series. Channel says I tipped for the Knights, but I feel I should have changed to the Eels, especially when Bradman Best was ruled out at the last minute. Mookie, you went off Moses as well? Yes. Zach Lomax taking on the goal-kicking duties. Well, this is a good positive sign. There were questions around match fitness for To'o and Lomax, who, if fit, will be the starting wingers for State of Origin. As Lomax converts, Lomax coming back from that ankle, I believe it was, to be doing the goal-kicking in his first game back, suggests that he is very much 100%. So if he can get through this game, he's pretty much guaranteed a spot. What a jump from Moses. So just a reminder for those interested on the YouTube, the pinned comment is a link to my video predicting the Blues State of Origin squad for Game 1. Yeah, this is one of those games, Alan owns, isn't it? Where both teams aren't exactly traveling along well. Makes it very hard for any predictions. I mean, Junior Paulo could get a try, for crying out loud, in this game. So, Troy Johnson on the Facebook says Knights gonna win. Well, we shall see. Penalty now to the Eels. Penalty Eels. And a nice little piggyback upfield for them. The kick to touch, a good one. Up to halfway they go. $40 meters out from the line. Mitch Moses with the opening try. And here they go again. Moses onto Hopgood. Setting themselves up nicely here. Down the right edge they go. Hopgood. To Moses in midfield. Out the back for Brown. Lined up to the left, but the short ball for Kortoga. Changes direction. They're just to the left of the post here, the Eels. Hopgood again. Out to Moses. Iyongi wrapping around, puts the grubber kick through for Lomax, and Kalen Ponga appears out of nowhere to boot this into touch. A result for the Eels. Goal line dropout. Did he boot it dead? No, he didn't. It's going to be a 10-metre play the ball here for Parramatta. And a full set of 6 incoming. Here's Junior Paulo. Wouldn't it be funny if he did actually score a try? Play 1. Couple of meters out. Moses to the left they go. Brown. Dummies. Brown goes straight through. And he's half a metre out. Dylan Brown on tackle 2. A loose pass. Bounces up kindly for Moses. Here's Paulo again. Offloads back for Moses on the wraparound. Numbers to the right. Lomax for the corner. Lomax scores. Oh, he has already earned himself that Origin jersey. Zach Lomax in the corner. A tick off the multi. Parramatta on fire here early on. The Knights struggling in defence. Moses is stepping up. Brown is stepping up. Zach Lomax starting very well. Nice pass there from Penasini. On the money. $10-0, the kick to come. Stunning play there for the Eels. And a nice little tickety-tick off the multi. That's what we like to see. Marley Prime says if Eels win, Panthers will be last, Dan. No, they won't. They've got the bye this week, so they've got a guaranteed 2 points. Guaranteed 2 points incoming. Hello, Lacey says, yes, try time. Eels 14 plus. Bojam asks if there's any news on the new rugby league game. Not that I've seen. Honestly, I haven't really been following along with it, as Lomax from the sideline hooks this conversion off to the left. So it stays 10-0. A great start nonetheless here for the Eels. Marley Prime, will I be streaming the Sharks vs Storm tomorrow? Yikes. Yeah, most likely. Not looking forward to it. Blue NAF 3. When did Lomax get back? Tonight. This is his first game back. 10-0. The Eels with the lead. Zachary Lomax, the latest try scorer. All right. So, Parramatta now. Some expansive play from inside their own 300. Cortoga plays it on the 40. Their own side of halfway. Short side they go. Just shy of halfway. Fox into dummy half. To Riley Smith. Then in midfield, they've come up with the spilt ball. This might be high contact, though. The player who dropped it could be Milky Magooing. We'll have to see. Oh, blood gushing out of the head. Oh, this was high contact. This could be a penalty. Head-on-head contact. Adam Elliott. Yeah, just a head clash. He's got a gusher out the ear. Well, that looked nasty. He'll be all right. These boys are tough. Blue Nav 3, you've gone Dolphins over the Warriors and the Sharks over Storm. Oh. The Sharks over Storm's a very bold call. Dylan Walker onto the field, and off for a HIA goes Jermaine Hopgood. No surprise, really. He got belted. Scrum down here for the Knights. There was absolutely no way that he's holding onto that ball. So Newcastle, an opportunity here to strike back. 6 again as Jacob Saifidi takes the hit up. Slow play the ball. Crossland's got his arms up like Jesus. Ponga down the right edge. Pops it up for Gagai. Gagai takes the line on and is tackled into touch on game number 300. They're pumped up about that, the Eels. And maybe passing would have been the better option there from Gagai. This is what I was talking about in the pregame, wasn't it? Gagai, is he going to get a little ball hoggy tonight in number 300? Maybe also James Schiller could have changed his line. Angled back inside. A little flick pass out the back. Yeah, Wolfie, I can't see any rain on the TV, but it does definitely seem very moist. It's very moist out there. Very dewy. And I'm not talking about Adam. Big contact there, and now Adam Elliott's off for HIA. That head clash with Jermaine Hopgood has claimed its second victim. This game's in Newcastle. Game of Mel. Here we go. There were some requests on the TikTok. The tickety-tock. For the try scorers. Let's see if that does the job for you over there, TikTok. And then I can just flash back to my multi whenever it seems like something's going to hit. Up over halfway. Here come the Eels now, back in possession. Sweet Pea, 458, and William Hunt, ahoy. Fifth and last now for the Eels. Moses wants it on the right. Puts it high. Contestable ball taken by Lomax, and Lomax is in touch. Couldn't keep it alive. Jermaine Hopgood is a Cat 2. HIA. Cat 2, HIA. Newcastle back in possession here. 71% territory to the Eels, and this will help. A penalty to the Knights coming out of territory, and a nice little piggyback. Sweet Pea, 458. Can't wait for State of Origin. It's exciting, isn't it? State of Origin not far away at all. For those of you on YouTube, in the pinned comment, I have selected my New South Wales Blues squad, so do feel free to check that out at some point if you would like to. Up to halfway now, go the Knights. And beyond, Sharp. A short pass there. And taken 40 metres out from the Eels line is Thomas Kant. And a tip tackle, but up and going again is Matt Croker. Well, it wasn't really a tip tackle. He just rolled over the top of the Eels defenders. Gamble onto Sharp. Short ball for Pierce Paul. 20 metres out, fifth and last. Eels have to defend here. Short side. Gamble puts the kick through. It deflects off the Eels and back in possession the Knights. A set restart as well. Ponga heads across field. And into midfield, there is... might be Frizzell there. No, that's Matt Croker again. Set restart. That one's Frizzell. 5 metres out from the line. Tackle 2. Crossland brings it to the right. Saifidi to Gamble. Sharps angling back inside. Offloads to Gagai, who spills it. And it's scooped up by the Eels. And away they go upfield. Up over halfway now. Surrendering in the tackle, Sean Russell. Oh, Dane Gagai. He celebrated a little bit too hard, I think. He's having a nightmare. Moses immediately sends it wide to the right. Here's Penasini, one-on-one, puts a big fend on, and then spills the ball. Penasini, a big fend, made the line break, and then spills the ball. The Knights off the hook again. The Eels, they just haven't been able to land that killer blow. Not that there really is such a thing at the moment in rugby league as a killer blow, is there? Because we've seen multiple comebacks. Ghost, Lucas is not looking good. They've already shifted him. I think that might be in part to the HIA. Adam Elliott had to leave the field for a HIA. And it seems as though... It seems as though they've shifted Dylan Lucas to lock, and Thomas Kant has gone out into the centres. It was Thomas Kant who just got fended off there by Penasini. Seems like that's what happened. Now Ponga cuts back in field. They hold on to him by the ankles. Up to halfway goes Frizzell. Frizzell dumped in the tackle. Mark O'Brien, ahoy mate. Go Para, he says. Fifth and last, down the short side for Gamble to put it high. Iyongi, perfectly placed for it. The Eels back in possession. WST, ahoy mate. Yeah, let's go multi. Cameron asks if Gagai gets over. He's got to start holding on to the bloody ball. Dang Gagai. If he wants to try in game number 300, step number 1, hold on to the ball and stop losing it. Up over halfway. The Eels. Fifth and last, 40 out. Moses is on the short side. Puts it high. Contestable ball for Lomax. Lomax loses it. Knock on. And after a red-hot start here for Zach Lomax, he's starting to come up with a couple of errors under the high ball. Shaking his head. He's disappointed in himself there. The Eels are certainly looking like the better of the two teams at the moment, but as we've seen, games of two halves throughout the course of the weeks. Anything could still happen yet. It's early days and it's only 10 points. Craigo, ahoy there, mate. Craigo on TikTok as the Knights up over halfway now. Pierce Paul puts the fend on. Craigo says, your voice could soothe me to sleep. I've been told that I should do a channel on YouTube for reading bedtime stories. Down the short side, Ponga puts the kick up. Iyongi's under it again, perfectly positioned. How does he do it? He's always there. Try scorers Mitchell Moses and Zach Lomax, Porro. I got the try scorers up on the TikTok screen as best I could. I understand it's probably too small to read. I'll try and work on it. I'll try and work on something better for the screen layout in future. It's just a bit hard to do while the game's going. But hopefully that's working all right. Fifth and last now for the Eels, inside their own 30. Moses needs a big kick. Moses gets it. Ponga's back there for it, though. Takes it on the full. Kalen returns it. Almost makes a clean line break between Williams and who's that there? Penasini. Penalty to the Knights. A ruck infringement. Penasini not able to roll away. And Newcastle, well, the Eels have just failed to take full advantage, quite frankly. They've been on top for long periods of this first half, and they've just unable to convert. Up over halfway, the touch finder from the penalty. Saifidi takes the first hit up. 13 minutes left to play in the first half. The Knights, they're being invited down this end of the field more and more. Brodie Jones now takes tackle 2. Emmanuel Vincent, ahoy mate. Short side for Sharp, onto Ponga. Forward pass there, surely. Penalty, though, to the Knights. High contact. That's the call. High contact and another penalty here. Dylan, do I play Supercoach? wastedsports.com.au/games. That is the website to check out if you would like to join our fantasy and tipping competitions, as they've come up with a mistake in the play of the ball, the Knights. Oh, what a goof up.
Gosh.
Captain's challenge incoming. They better hope to high heaven that this is a successful one. Their best opportunity all night long so far. And they come up with an error in the play of the ball. Well, there's no ruck infringement there. Ryan Madison is simply trying to get back to his feet. Challenge unsuccessful. And the Knights have screwed up their best opportunity of the game so far. Unicorn, thank you very much for the heart me over there on TikTok. wastedsports.com.au/games. There's links to all our fantasy and tipping competitions that are completely free to join. So those are the ones we use. Just for those interested. Parramatta scrum down, 10 out from their own line. They go right. And Lomax with the first hit up. How are they this bad? Asks Alan. Adam Elliott has passed his HIA. DJ Shack, ahoy mate, as this loose offload is scooped up by Pierce Paul. No, it falls for the Eels. Restart of the tackle count as that ball was stripped away, says the referee. Dylan Walker doing the job, doing the cleanup work. Danzel, do I think Iongi could score? I think he could, most certainly. Offloading here, the Eels. Second phase play, but nowhere to go. Wrapped up just inside Knights territory. Relna Napa says go Parramatta Eels, 13 plus. And it is the Eels with the ball. Putting the spiraling kick up. Ponga's under it, takes it well. Brings it now out to the 20. A good kick return. He's getting himself into some degree of form. Leading into State of Origin. I dare say Ponga will be the fullback. Fletcher Sharp. Yeah, he's a possibility as well, of course. He's always involved in the plays. They're just lacking any sort of direction at the moment, though, the Knights. And that probably without Jack Cogger. Tyson Gamble playing at halfback. It's a makeshift halves pairing again. As the kick down to Iongi takes it on the full once more. I don't think that they've landed grass once tonight with the kicks, Newcastle. It's always been Iongi planting himself under it and taking it on the full. They've got to start finding the turf with these kicks to put some pressure on. All season, yes, indeed. What's the name there? Lucity AU. That's what I was talking about in the pre-game. The Knights have just been unable to settle on a halves pairing because of injuries. Through the hands now to the left. Go the Eels. From their own side of halfway, the Fox gets the flick pass back and he's tackled just inside Knights territory. That is the fourth. Moses hands it off inside for Walker. What a pickup Dylan Walker's been, by the way, for the Knights. Down the short side, Moses from 40 out puts it high. A contestable kick. And it's batted back by the Eels. Beware the second kick. It's still fifth and last. But it opens up now for Walker. Walker takes the line on. I don't think he realised it was still fifth and last. And that will be a handover. He thought that that was touched. And they're going to challenge this. Jay Blix, the first try scorer, was. The first try scorer was Mitch Moses. So they're challenging this call. The ball was batted back initially by Lomax. They're hoping that this was touched by Fletcher Hunt. And it was. There was a clear touch by Fletcher Hunt. It's gone backwards. And then Lomax bats it back, and this should be 6 again for the Eels. That should have been a set restart. There we go. A successful challenge incoming here for the Eels. Well, that explains why Dylan Walker made absolutely zero attempt to kick the ball. Because he knew that they had a full set of, or expected they had a full set of 6 incoming. Lackey. Thank you very much for the heart me over there on TikTok as the Eels now 10 metres out. Here they go. Madison takes the line on. Left edge they go. Kortonga can't get the arms free. He's held up a metre short. That's the fifth and last. Smith sends it to Brown, fires it over for Moses, kicks for Lomax. Lomax over the top of Hunt, and Hunt loses it into touch and goal. He's done extremely well, though, Fletcher Hunt. That would have been a pressure scenario. Ollie is the best. Ahoy, mate. It's a goal line dropout. Oh. No, it's a 20-metre restart. The bunker has intervened and said there was a touch there off Lomax. Bring it out to the 20 for a tap. Well, there's a result for the Knights. 10 points to 0, 7.5 left to play in the opening 40. DJ Shack has got around the grounds for us, an arm wrestle between the Hurricanes and the Highlanders. 17 points to 14. Nice. I did consider actually chucking that one on. Through the hands now to the left. Ponga puts a huge fend on. Steps back in field. Kalen Ponga has suddenly sprung to life. He's got Sharp in support. And Kalen Ponga has tackled Fletcher Sharp. It's a penalty to the Knights. Kalen Ponga has incidentally tackled Fletcher Sharp there and brought that play crashing to ground. The penalty's gone the way of the Knights. Tackled off the ball. Mitchell Moses can't believe it, but then Kenny Ever. Let's be honest about that. Ah, yes, Hopgood. Hopgood grabs hold of Ponga, who then bumps into Fletcher Sharp and knocks him down. And then a flop. The Knights tap and go. 10 metres out from the line. Can they hit back? Matt Croker takes tackle 1. Inside the 10. Sharp out the back for Gamble. Here's Pierce Paul now. Standing in the 3-man tackle. Still going Pierce Paul. Gets the arm free, but nobody to offload to. Crossland fires it out in front of the post for Gamble. At the back for Sharp. Cut out pass for Ponga. And he sends Fletcher Hunt into space. Hunt tries to burrow his way under, but Lomax stands his ground. This defense is great signs for Origin. Zach Lomax earning his place. Crossland passes to nobody. It sets up for Gagai, and Gagai, he's chopped down 20 metres out. They've lost some ground, but it's still their ball. Gamble in midfield. On to Elliott. Elliott is tackled, 5th and last. 6 minutes left in the opening half. Gamble, grub a kick into the end goal. Is it too heavy? No, it sits up and the Fox bats it dead. Goal line dropout inbound here for the Eels. GGG. Is Josh playing good? Josh Adokar, the Fox. He hasn't really been involved. Parramatta have been attacking a lot with Lomax as they go sort of mid-range restart. And Fletcher Hunt brings it back. I'll tell you who has been playing okay. Fletcher Hunt here, the youngster, filling in for Greg Marju, but who knows, he might just force his way into the squad full time. 5 metres out from the line. Gamble in midfield. Short pass is spilt, and the Knights have let the Eels off the hook. Iongi comes away with it. Adam O'Brien is just sitting up in the coach's box with his hand in his head in his hands. 0 tackle here for the Eels. And that's a big mistake with only 4 minutes left until the break. They needed some points, really. The Eels, they've been unable to land a killer blow, though. I don't think 10 points is really enough. Brown down the short side, out the back for the Fox. And there is the Fox with probably his biggest involvement in the game so far. And Gagai's got him wrapped up and dumped in midfield. Yes, he ran all the way back across field. 5th and last for Moses. Puts the kick up. Lomax chasing. But it's taken again. Fletcher Hunt is picked up and dragged towards the sideline. Fires a loose pass back in field and Ponga collects it in the end goal. It'll be a miracle if Ponga gets out of here and he eventually surrenders. Goal line dropout incoming. While Fletcher Hunt was picked up by Lomax and carried towards the sideline. Lomax with this first half performance, he's surely got himself one finger on that Origin jersey. Knights go short with the restart. It's going to go out on the fall, and they just can't get anything right here tonight, the Knights. Three minutes to go until the halftime break. Parramatta player, 10 out from the line. Kortoga tries to duck his way under, just a couple of metres out. Crash ball in front of the post for Hopgood. To the right they go, but just one out stuff at the moment here, the Eels. Not asking any question. to the left. Riley Smith sends it for Moses. Flat pass across the face of the defense for Kotoga, who spills it. On tackle 3, both teams are guilty here of letting each other off the hook. Nobody's able to finish. That was a big opportunity, a big set of 6 in the context of the game. And what a let-off. Junior Paulo's been solid tonight. He is leading the VB hard-earned index. He's been winding back the clock. Dylan Bransby. My apologies. Dylan Bransby. You got Moses, you got Lomax, and now you just need Adokar. 17 missed tackles for the Knights as Ponga is cleaned up and loses the ball by the Fox. Josh Adokar has monstered Kalen Ponga, and now Brown scoots out a dummy half, catches them napping. First tackle, the Eels will get another shot before the break. Through the hands out to the right, they've lost the ball on tackle 1. Moses is furious. Mitchell Moses is fired up. He's abusing his own teammates here. And this has become a very, very sloppy game. Mistakes galore from both teams. It's a really hard watch at the moment. It's a slog of a game. 27 seconds to go until the halftime break. Possession has evened up. 57% for the Eels. But they were way out in front in terms of the possession stats. Now, on the stroke of halftime, the Knights go left, but no threat. That will be the halftime siren. Oh, no, one play. They got to play the ball away. This is it. Now, Gamble, dummies, and he's wrapped up in midfield. A very poor end to a very poor half of footy. Although the Eels started well, they couldn't go on with it. And mistakes crept into the game for both sides. That really was a dismal opening 40 minutes of footy. From what we've seen from some of the games so far this year, I mean, it's really been dismal. I hate to be negative about it, but it really just has been dismal. Shane, you need a scoreless second half. A scoreless second half and you're all good, huh? What did you pick? Under 11.5 or specifically 10 points to 0, Parramatta, final score? I love a good bold prediction on the final score. I've got to say, I did not have 10-0 at halftime. But we are seeing this a lot in recent weeks, aren't we? Momentum for one team or the other. 0 going into the halftime break for one team. But then that team ends up coming back. And could we see another game of two halves here tonight? Dens03 on Twitch. You need Penasini. Penasini's another one that needs to start holding onto the ball. Harp fit. Ahoy, mate. Jay on Facebook says second half Knights 1-12 full time. But we do have coming up after this one, should be a much better game. I don't want to jinx it, but it should be a much better game. Bulldogs, Roosters coming up. Roosters off the back of a bye. And I stand by my call that the Roosters are nowhere near as miserable as people think they are. And they'll put up a fight. I've got the Dogs winning, but the Roosters will put up a hell of a fight. So looking forward to that one coming up next here on the Wasted World of Sports. But we've still got 40 minutes of this one to get through. 10 points to nil at the break. Not a whole lot to talk about in that first half. We saw 2 tries, one for Mitch Moses. It was a great try. Crossfield kick from the left of the post from Dylan Brown to the right of the post, and Mitch Moses outleaps everybody to score the try. Very interested to have a look at that. Actually, I'll have a look at that in the post game and try and pinpoint exactly where Kalen Ponga was during that play. Because Ponga was nowhere to be found, if memory serves me correctly. And the second try, Zach Lomax, who got across and got us our first and only tick off the multi so far. Odd Poppet, ahoy, mate. How are you feeling tonight, sir? Waves on TikTok. I'm a Newcastle fan, and I'm not confident in us. Cogger and Greg out. And Bradman Best as well, Waves. No Greg Marshu, no Cogger, no Bradman Best. So, ahoy there. All right, halftime here. I better have myself a quick break and be right back here on the Wasted World of Sports. Odd Poppet, as always, is perfectly timed to catch the theme song. Second half coming up after this.
Welcome to the Wasted World of Sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show, hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted World of Sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and tank pads last from the kickoff to the final whistle blow. We'll take the 2 and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted World of Sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques. Just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll raise a roll, from sideline jokes to post-match tales. All big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our skies. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted World of Sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Oh, Wasted World of Sports, here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer. Yeah!
All right. So 10 points to nil, halftime here. For those interested on the YouTube, I've got a pinned comment up the top. There is a video on the page where you can check out my Blues predicted squad. So if you're interested in what I have to say about the upcoming Blues squad announcement for State of Origin do check that out. The pinned comment on YouTube, or you can just find it on the Waste of Water Sports YouTube channel homepage under the tips and predictions videos. A whole playlist of stuff there. And I'm also in the process, I didn't quite get it done in time, but I'm in the process of editing up the next episode of Generations with the Old Panther, where we're talking about expansion, all things expansion, previous hits and misses, and what to potentially expect in the future. But this game here, 10 points to 0, 17 missed tackles for the Knights, tells quite the story of this first half. 17 missed tackles, and it's been largely dominated by the Eels. They should be ahead by more than 10 points. Let's be honest. Parramatta fans and those who tipped them, like me, should be starting to feel quite nervous about the potential outcome of this one, because they have not taken advantage of their opportunities. Let's actually see. Did I go ahead and change my tip in the Waste of Water Sports tipping contest? Yes, I did. Okay. So, I have changed my tip to the Eels. Now, I changed my tip to the Eels based on all the outs that Newcastle have, but it was worth noting that I am 0% when it comes to tipping the Eels in season 2025. 0%. So that's really not a good sign at all, is it? Jonah, ahoy, mate. Jonah, whoops, went to the wrong screen. I'll pop my try scorers back up on the screen for you. I'm still working out the best screen setup there for TikTok, because at the moment, there's the people that enjoy the streams to follow along and talk multis. But there's also the people that follow along and like to know more what's happening with the game. So I've had quite a few requests now to have the try scorers up on the screen there. So I'm still fiddling around with the best screen layout for TikTok. Obviously on YouTube, I've got a lot more screen space. YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. I can put all kinds of stuff everywhere, but I don't have that luxury on TikTok. So I have to juggle between the try scorers list and my same game multi. But I think it's fair that my multi doesn't need to be on the screen 100% of the time. I can alternate between the two easily enough. So if I can alternate between the two easily enough, why not have them both scrolling amongst each other? But anyways, DJ Shack around the grounds, the Hurricanes have stolen it at the death over the Highlanders, 24 points to 20. Cam Roigard with a try after the siren. So they were in stoppage time. Injury time, as it used to be called. Heart fit, you grew up a Parramatta supporter. Was not the best childhood. It depends when you grew up being a fan of Parramatta, because, I mean, if you're really old, then they had success, obviously, back in the day. It's all right, mate. I'm a Sharks supporter. I've only ever tasted premiership success once. Bentley, ahoy, mate. Who will win next game? Doggies or Roosters? Doggies are obviously one of the form teams of the competition so far. But the Roosters coming off a bye. Going to be a close game, I reckon. I'm sticking with the Bulldogs. But the Roosters, I think, will put up one hell of a fight. They're no schlubs. They are no schlubs at all. The Roosters, more than capable of the upset. Timothy says Junior Paulo to score next. That would be funny. I was joking around during the first half that I should have put Junior Paulo in my multi. Because this is the sort of game that he's liable to score in. A very scrappy first half of football we saw. Can we see a better second? It started off all right for the Eels anyway. Started off well for the Eels. But then they kind of, no disrespect to the Knights, but the Eels kind of sunk down to Newcastle's level. The errors started creeping into the game. Can they get their act together in the second half? Sandor says, I think the Roosters are going to do a number on the Dogs tonight. I think it's going to be very, very close. Here's a worthwhile bet, I think. On Sportsbet at the moment. Gamble responsibly and all that bloody blah. Wow, the Roosters are paying $2.61. What line are they giving them? 6.5. Yeah, see? 6.5 line. But what I want to have a look at here is the margin. The margin markets. Either team to win by 1 to 12. $1.69. That's actually not half bad for a leg. If you just want to boost your same game multi up a little bit, $1.69 is not the worst odds in the world. Either team to win by 1 to 12 in that Bulldogs Roosters game. Slap that one in there as a leg in the multi. $1.69, pretty good odds to just boost up your overall price. Drake Mongreen, ahoy mate. Eels, not like legendary John Eels, who wins games. Absolutely, the Knights have a chance of winning. I mean, 10 points to 0 for all that domination. Parramatta realistically should have been up by about 20 points at least. So I dare say that whilst the Knights won't be happy, they'll know that they're still in this. It's only 10 points. 10 points is more than achievable. All right, I still need 3 legs off my multi. Mitch Moses and Zach Lomax, the only try scorers thus far. Let it rain tries in the second half. Absolutely nobody played well. Kai DeBondi. Nobody played well in that first half. It was a really, really tough watch. A stinker of a game so far. Hoping for a much improved second half from both teams. It's the Knights who have first use of it. TKD, ahoy mate. To the left edge they go. Jaden Brayley is still on the field, is he? There you go. He stayed out there. Up to the halfway line on the 5th and last. Gamble puts the kick downfield. Addo-Carr backs up, takes it on the full. And he returns it now 15 out from his own line. Richard Trainer, ahoy mate. You're off to the Bulldogs game. Very nice. Bulldogs Roosters coming up after this. A double header here on your Friday night. And also the Formula One's on this weekend. I'm looking forward to that. TKD, thank you very much for the football on TikTok. Cheers. As the Eels now. A strong carry outside their own 40. And they've come up with an error. Oh, Tony Mataeli spills the ball, raises his hand to his teammates in apology. Oh, penalty. Well, they're off the hook. The ball was punched out there by Phoenix Crossland. Oh, there is no penalty. Okay. It came up on the screen that there was a penalty. Well, somebody in the Fox Sports production truck just messed up. And the knock on is the call. I don't know why they put penalty up on the screen. It's the Knights who go on the attack first in the second half. Adam Elliott, 30 out from the line. Crossland now through Gamble. A flat pass there for Pierce Paul. Pierce Paul carries inside the 20. A hard man to bring down. Pierce Paul, now he offloads. Did he offload too late? Yes. The call of held is in. Tackle 3. Gamble in midfield. A very flat pass. And it's called forward to Adam Elliott. So the second half has essentially started right where the first half ended off. A shambles from both teams. Dropped balls, forward passes. TKD, thank you very much for the 19 roses over there on TikTok. Cheers, mate. 10 out from their own line. Scrum down for the Eels. Off the hook for the time being. And both teams, for whatever reason, have just decided they don't want to play no more. And it's really turned into a shocker of a contest as the Eels almost cough it up again. Doing extremely well to collect it there, Penasini. Bobbled it out quite badly, though. And now Lomax on tackle 3. Short ball from Madison. Read well by the Knights' defense. 40 out from their own line. Madison again takes the hit up. Fifth and last. Slow play the ball. They don't want to give away a penalty here on the last tackle. Moses puts the kick downfield. And it's taken by Caitlin Ponga at the back. And they've lost it. Ponga spills it out the back. Knocked backwards, says the referee, and play on. The Knights, though, 10 out from their own line. Tackle 2. Oh, that could have been a catastrophic mistake from Ponga. Flip says up the Parramatta. The Wasted Water Sports TikTok should be Wasted Water Sports, one would think. Or, hang on, I'll tell you exactly what the handle is if I can open my bloody phone up here. It is Wasted Sports AU. Wasted Sports AU is our TikTok handle. As Iongi carries back from the kick nicely, takes it to the 20. Adokar down the short side, 1-on-1. Fends off Tyson Gamble, just throws him away. And this is good, quick ruck ball for the Eels. Cortoga brings it outside the 40. Offloads for Smith. Smith to Moses in midfield. They're up over halfway now as Williams puts a clean step on and goes straight through. 30 metres out. They go down the short side. Moses cuts back into midfield. Dummies. And he is dumped 20 metres out from the line, right in front of the posts. A player taken without the ball there as well. Fifth and last it is. Brown will dink it in over the top for Lomax. Lomax against Hunt. Hunt spills it. Spills it forward, says the referee. And Lomax chucks Ponga away with disdain. A result here for the Eels. Fletcher Hunt, his first mistake of the game. He's played extremely well otherwise. And the Eels a chance now to extend their lead. Junior Paulo getting ready to come onto the field. Well, somebody in the chat room said Junior Paulo, next try scorer. He's about to come onto the field. From the scrum, Smith sends it left. Brown wraps around and has to surrender in the tackle. Got all tangled up there, the Eels. Tangled up amongst themselves. Mataeli, 5 meters out. Madison used as the decoy. Goes out the back for Moses to Iyongi. Steps back in field and they get themselves tangled up again here, the Eels. Iyongi has to surrender in the tackle. Moses hands it off inside for Madison. Madison now runs in behind his own players. Oh, they're getting all messed up here, the Eels. Smith sends it left for Brown. Cut out pass. And Sean Russell falling as he takes it. Had no chance of carrying on momentum. Fox into dummy half on the 5th and last. And the crossfield kick from Brown is lost forward by the Eels and picked up by the Knights. And an absolute nothing set of 6 comes to an end. Just a completely clueless set of 6. Really poor play. 10 points to 0 it remains. They've got to ask some questions of the Knights' defence. Going absolutely nowhere at the moment. Cant almost drops it. Oh, it's a shambles of a game. As I said, I can't really see any rain. It's a bit moist. A lot of dew around. Ponga now in the line. Dummies. Fends off Russell. Brings it back into midfield. Ponga, 40 out from his own line. WST. Ahoy, mate. Over there on the TikTok. Siafidi carries up to the halfway line. Crossland, dummy short side. Goes back open and it's read well by the Eels defence. A big hit put on. And that's the 5th and last. Gamble puts the kick high. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Fox puts the fend on Gagai. Gagai gets back at him, brings him down. That's right. It absolutely bucketed down last night for the Women's Origin match, didn't it? Yeah, this is all leftover surface moisture and damage from that game. Interesting. I didn't even think of that. That is a very good point, Sandor. Because they played the Women's Origin in Newcastle, right? So this is just all leftover moisture from the monsoon that they experienced. Well, that explains a lot. 5th and last for the Eels. Moses from inside his 40. Puts it down the middle of the field. No threat of a 40-20 there. And Fletcher Hunt is picked up and dumped by Jack Williams. He's had a solid game, though. Gad says that this is a horrible venue to play at. Well, there's obviously been something that's kept the crowd away because Newcastle usually pack their stadium. I know that they're not exactly in great form at the moment, but that's the first thing I noticed was for a home game, Newcastle, a very, very horrible crowd. So something's obviously keeping them away. 5th and last, Gamble puts it high. The Fox is under it, takes it on the full. I don't recall the Knights finding the grass once with their kicking game. Margaret Miria says, let's go Eels. And it is the Eels with the ball. Tackle 2, 20 out from their own line. Looking to break away upfield. As Lomax looking a bit worse for wear in back play. Moses dummies. 5th and last on the halfway line. Brown to do the kicking again with Moses taking the last tackle. And they pick out Ponga on the full. Ponga threatens the line break again. 25 out, slow to get up and limping now, Ponga. Kalen Ponga is limping in back play. Well, this could have huge ramifications for Origin. No, he seems to be running freely on that leg now. Fletcher Sharp to Gagai. Gagai has been well contained tonight. The times that he has managed to hold on to the ball. JCS Moki. Game 2 was at Allianz Stadium. There you go. Okay. For some reason, I thought it was in Newcastle. Yeah. For some reason. Fifth and last. Knights put the kick in. Taken by the Fox on the full. And Foxy brings it back to the 20. Slow play the ball. Iongi heading across field. He's wrapped up. Bulldogs, Roosters, I hope that they go better coming up after this. I've got to try and slap a multi on that one. I still don't have a multi on. Walker in midfield. Hands it off inside for Polo. Polo charges up over halfway. Big Junior. Fifth and last. Smith sends it left for Brown. Cutout pass. Russell. And I don't think he realised it was fifth and last. I don't think anybody for the Eels realised it was fifth and last. And another meek and meaningless end of set for the Eels. Boy, this has been a stinker of a game. I'm not going to lie. This has been a tough slog. These teams have both been atrocious. As the ball's ripped away by Dylan Walker. Hands it back for Smith. And Smith gives it to Samrani. The Eels are back in possession. Well, can they get to the end of set this time? WST, thank you very much for the panda over there on TikTok. Can either team, I don't even care who it is at this point, even though I tipped the Eels. Can either team just get something happening? Junior Polo inside the 20. A set restart for the Eels. That's tackle 1. They go left for Moses. Out the back for Brown. Inside ball for Cortoga. Bumps off the first tackle. Jaden Brayley had no chance there. Walker to Moses. Here's Paulo. Paulo's a metre out. And he's held up over the line. He falls over the try line, but he's held up. That's tackle 3 or 4. Big Junior, well, he wants a try. We've been talking about him getting a try, and I was joking around that I should have had him in my multi. Well, seems like maybe I should have, and I should have had no Knights in my multi, because they don't look like scoring a try tonight. Newcastle. Williams takes tackle 4, 5 out, right in front of the post. Riley Smith to Moses. Left they go. Brown, short ball for Russell. There were unmarked players outside. Fifth and last. Brown with the crossfield kick into midfield in front of the post. It's batted back. Penasini fires it out to Lomax. Lomax one-on-one with Fletcher Hunt. Lomax gets the ball to ground. Welcome back to State of Origin, Zach Lomax. Welcome back to fitness. He's bagged himself a double on return. 14 points to 0, and something has finally happened. Who got the bat back? Moses, I think it was, in midfield, got the bat back. Yes, it was Mitch Moses. He's putting up an argument for Origin duty as well if Nathan Cleary gets injured. Wait a minute. Oh. Wait a minute. Bunker intervention incoming. Bunker intervention inbound. No, it's not. Try confirmed. Try confirmed. Lomax gets a double. A bold effort there from Fletcher Hunt. One-on-one with Zachary Lomax. But he essentially just became a speed bump. 14 points to 0, kick to come. War crimes, asked Pappy for New South Wales. People on YouTube, if you're interested in my thoughts on the New South Wales squad, the pinned comment up the top is a link to my video predicting the 2025 New South Wales Blues lineup for Game 1. As Lomax missed the conversion of his own try last time, he's got another chance. Lomax puts this one on target. Down the middle it goes. And it is 16 points to 0. Zach Lomax with the try and the conversion. Parramatta have got 23 minutes now to see this game out. Give me $5. Ahoy, mate. TKD really wants Adokar to score. As the Knights get us back underway. Can the Knights get a try at all? Are they going to get on the try scorer sheet at all tonight? $15 out from their own line. Slow play the ball. WST says, do I think Mark will get 2 and Stephen 2? Oh, yeah, I've got to do my multi for next game. Marky Mark. He's a certainty, you would have to think. As Walker in midfield. Dummies. Fifth and last. Moses down the short side. Puts it high. Not contestable. Should be an easy take at the back. It is for Fletcher Hunt. And Hunt is picked up and carried backwards. 15 out from their own line. Newcastle, can they get some points on the board? Well, since the Knights have looked very unthreatening so far tonight, let's see if this sparks them to life. Let's turn our attention to a same-game multi for next game. Bronson Xerri. Bronson Xerri. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go. As this kick is put downfield, taken on the full again. They can't find the turf at all. Bronson Xerri. Oh, there's try-scoring potential all over the park. This game. Okay, Bronson Xerri. Marky Mark. Nawanga Nitawase. All right, so that's 2 legs, 475. If it's a little bit wet, if it's a little bit moist, I feel like we need some forwards in there. We need some second row options. Fifth and last here for the Eels. Moses sends it deep, but Ponga's under it. Takes it on the full. Brings it outside his 20 and just playing foursome backs at the moment, these two teams, and it's the Eels who are winning. And they've lost the ball here, Fletcher Hunt. He's had such a good game so far, but now he's come up with a mistake. Opportunity for the Eels to put this game to bed. I'm going to have a quick break. Be right back. Parramatta to put this game to bed, you would think. 6 again for a ruck infringement. They're 15 metres out from the line, just to the right of the posts. Moses heads across to the left, offloads for Brown. Brown bobbles the ball, steps back in field. 10 metres out from the line. Back to midfield they go. Moses to Walker. Hands it off for Williams. Williams 10 metres out. 3 tackles left. Smith with the short ball. Oh, they got another set restart. 6 again. A metre out. Slow play the ball. They stay on the short side. Iongi has to retreat to collect it. Finds Moses in midfield. Moses spots half a gap, but it closes up. And Pierce-Paul puts the elbow in. And it's a penalty now. 10 in the bin. A sin bin for Pierce-Paul. Well, he was giving Moses a working over there with the elbow. Plain as day. And he has been sent for 10 minutes. Pierce-Paul in the bin for 10. And a penalty right out in front here. Do the Eels take the 2? It's right out in front. Take the 2. 3 converted tries, you would think, would be more than enough in these conditions, the way that this game's gone so far. Yes, they do. Zach Lomax steps up. And they'll put this one over. Kai Pierce-Paul, 10 minutes in the bin. Okay, so we've got Marky Mark, Nwanga Nitawase, Bronson Sherry. And I want a couple of forwards. Maybe we can do a combo here. Let's combo up, if it's available, player A or B to score a try. As Lomax puts this one over, 18 points to 0. Let's combo up. Oh, Viliami Kikau / Angus Crichton. I like that. Viliami Kikau / who else is he partnered up with? Hey, that's a good one. Stephen Crichton and Angus Crichton in a combo. It could be the Crichton combo. I do like that, though. Viliami Kikau or Angus Crichton. I probably would have preferred Nat Butcher, to be honest. Kikau or Butcher. I wonder if that's an option. Knights get us back underway. "17 minutes to play. The Knights down a man for the next 10. Kikau and Butcher would be perfect, I reckon. Can't see him in here anywhere. Yeah, okay. Well, let's stick with Kikau and Crichton. Parramatta go to the left, and here's the Fox in open space. He's got support on the inside for Brown. Brown will score. Well, now the game's opened up. They've gone back-to-back, the Eels. And the Fox in open spaces at last draws in Kalen Ponga and sends Dylan Brown in under the posts. 22 points to 0, the kick to come. The Eels have opened them up. They could put on a monster of a score now. Boy, oh boy. Down the left edge. The Fox should have gone on his own. What he should have done. The Parramatta Eels, for the first time in 2025, have won a game where I've tipped them. BCT, you've got Marky Mark, Jacob, Toya, and Sandon Smith. So Marky Mark, Karaz, Toya, and Sandon Smith. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do here. 4 legs as Lomax converts from right in front. How's this? Bronson Sherry anytime. Marky Mark Nawanga Nitawase anytime. Viliami Kikau / Angus Crichton. And Stephen Crichton / Jacob Karaz. I like you. Unfortunately, we can't pick everyone. It'd be nice if we could just pick anybody. Everybody, I mean. Knights get us back underway. They send it deep for some reason with 14 minutes to play. You think they might go short, try and get the ball back. But the Eels setting them up for another left edge attack. Down the short side, but play 3. 40 metres out from their own line. Here they come. They'll spread it left. Paulo to Walker. Dummies inside and goes straight through. Dylan Walker just brought down. 5th and last inside Knights territory. Smith goes down midfield. Paulo offloads and they're in open space again. 5th and last, 10 metres out. They're tearing them to shreds now. Moses, short ball to Jordan Semrani, and they're in again. Oh, this is like watching a game of Rugby League Live 4. They're scoring with ease. They're scoring at will. It's 28 points to Zippo. Parramatta, well, take a man out of the defensive line and Parramatta come to life. Unbelievable turn of events here. How quickly this game swung. Craig Howarth, ahoy mate. What's up with the 90 Knights? Well, at the moment, they're playing with 12 men on the field and they're getting heavily exposed. That said, though, I mean, they stunk tonight even before the sin bin, so they can't use that as an excuse. Addy says it looks like Josh Adokar is not scoring a try tonight. Addy, I would go even further than that and say it looks like Newcastle are not going to score a try tonight. Dog Stevens, thank you very much for the 10 roses on TikTok. And thank you very much to Only SME for the Heart Me on TikTok. TikTok gifts flowing freely over there tonight. Thank you very much. Cheers. Zach Lomax, 4 from 5 tonight. Another conversion attempt. Welcome back to State of Origin too. Zach Lomax played himself into the jumper. Will it hold its line? No, it hits the upright, the near upright, and bounces away. 28 points to 0 it remains. Speaking of Origin, for those interested on YouTube, there is a pinned comment up the top with my predicted State of Origin Blues squad. Just the Blues. It is not a video for Queenslanders. Just the Blues. For those who might be interested in checking that out. Over on YouTube, the pinned comment. $28 points to 0. There's still 12 minutes left in this game. The reason I say that is I'm not suggesting for 1 second a comeback. I'm suggesting that it's going to get a lot worse here for Newcastle. This time they go short. And it's been batted back. Well, lost forward, says the referee, by the Eels. And here are the Knights in possession. Into the midfield they go. Matt Croker, is it? No, that's Brody Jones. Odd Poppet says, didn't you post a video up as well about Origin? Or am I hallucinating? Yes, that's the one that I was just talking about. You did not hallucinate a thing, my friend. Tackle 3 here for the Knights. Gamble. Inside ball to Croker. 20 metres out on play 4. They go to the right. Gamble sends it out for Gagai, who cuts back infield. Heading across field, and he's swooped on by Moses, Smith, Cortoga. 3 men bring him down with ease. 5th and last. 10 metres out. Gamble in front of the post. Crossfield kick. Fletcher Hunt bats it back, and it's there for the Knights. Dylan Lucas with the offload. Back to Hunt. Hunt fires it infield where it's intercepted by Junior Paulo. Well, that was my 2 try scorers. Hunt and Lucas in tandem. Neither one of them wanted the ball. All right, so 10 minutes to play. 28 points to 0. Ryan Madison is currently off the field. For the person asking that. 5th and last, Knights put it high. Or the Eels put it high, sorry. And Ponga takes it on the full. Ponga makes a clean line break. He's got support, but he passes it to the Fox. And the Fox is away. Steps back inside Gagai, but he's brought down. 25 out. It's just not his night tonight, the Fox. Slow to get up and play this one. Into midfield, Moses. They immediately shift it to the right. Penasini steps back in field, bumps off the tackle, bumps him off twice for good measure, and then spills the ball. Penasini with the knock on. 9 minutes left to play. Ponga with his first line break of the game, but then he passes it straight to the Fox. Not how you want to back up a line break. Okay, so for the next game, we've got Bronson Sherry, Marky Mark, Nwanga Nitawase, Viliami Kikau / Angus Crichton, Stephen Crichton / Jacob Criaz. I like that. As Pierce Paul's ready to come back onto the field, penalty to the Knights. Well, they got... Oh, good Lord. Okay, well, this tells a story. This statistic tells a story. Newcastle have completed 22 of 34 sets of 6 tonight. 65% completion rate. You're not even going to win reserve grade with a 65% completion rate. You need to be up in the 80s at the very least, if not the low 90s. 65% completion rate. 22 from 34 sets of 6 completed. That is miserable. That is miserable at any level of the game. Brazil with the short ball. Knights picked up and dumped. 20 metres out from the line. Down the short side. Piers Paul carries an inside 10. 5th and last. Right over on that right edge. Ponga at first receiver. Bobbles it. They get a 6 again, though, the Knights. Oh, they're going to... I reckon they're going to get a consolation try. You know who deserves it? Fletcher Hunt. Send it out to the left. And that's where they go, the Knights. Sharp. Cut out pass. Hits the chest of Lucas. The ball spills out the side. And it's dived on by Brody Jones for 6 more tackles. Well, not called by the referee, though. Ponga to Gagai. Gagai. Oh, they're trying to get Gagai a try for his 300th, aren't they? 10 metres out, Gagai is tackled. Back to the left they come. Short ball. Jones almost into a gap. 5 meters out. Brayley with the crash ball to Croker. A meter out. Fifth and last. They go left. Gamble with the grubber kick in behind the line, and it's been picked up by Walker, a meter short from his own try line. A nothing play. Tyson Gamble. What the hell was that? Shocking. 6 minutes to play, 28 points to nil. Fox bumps off the first tackle, but no open spaces for the Foxy. Slipping into contact here, the Eels on play 4. They've got the game won. Oh, I'm so looking forward to this next game. Bulldogs versus the Roosters. It's going to be a cracker. I've got the Bulldogs at the moment. I think the Roosters are really going to put up a fight, though. This kick downfield sits up at the back for Hunt. Hunt returns it. 45 out from his own line. 5 minutes to play. 28 points to nil. Heart Ticker. Ahoy, Heart Ticker. Knights have to be the worst team in the comp. Wooden Spooners this year. In fairness to them, they're missing some key players. There's Ponga down the short side to Gagai. Gagai trying to get a try on number 300. The flick pass for Schiller. And they'll get a try. James Schiller will score under the posts. And a little something to cheer about at last for the home fans. They've got off the zero. Dang, Gagai, well, he's not going to get a try on game number 300, but he comes up with an assist. Try under the posts. 28-6 incoming. First meeting, says Chookies, to beat the Dollbogs by 4. There's absolutely nothing dull about the way the Bulldogs have been playing. As Ponga converts, 28 points to 6. The comeback is on. Kiddo, ahoy there. Knights off to Vegas next year, hey? Well, I wonder if the NRL is regretting that decision right about now. $28 points to 6 as a big Bradman Best head is in the crowd. They obviously didn't get the notice that he wasn't playing tonight. Wayne Stretch says Crusaders up 5-0 in that game against the Waratahs. Four minutes left to play in this one. Eels with the restart. They'll be potentially disappointed about that, the Eels, in all honesty. Leaking that try right at the very end. They'll be definitely disappointed if they leak another one. Four minutes left to play. They've got nothing left to lose at this point. The Knights, they may as well start throwing the ball around, and that's exactly what they're doing. Up over halfway. Tackle 3 inside the Eels territory. Gamble at the back for Ponga. Here's Pierce Paul down that right edge to Gagai. Fends off a couple of tackles. Not making a lot of meters, though. Brayley to Gamble. Short ball there for Hetherington. 20 meters out here on play 5. They go quickly to the left. Sharp to Ponga out the back. Ponga takes the line on and he's wrapped up and defended well. Well, they have closed Ponga down tonight. They've handled him quite easily. 3 minutes left to play. Parramatta up 28 points to 6. Give me $5, says the Knights can't be worse than the women's game in Vegas. Oh, that was a shocker, wasn't it? I mean, not that I watched it, but I mean, you can't have a scoreline that big. Scooter House says up the Eels. Zach Lomax, a great return. Played his way into a Blues jersey for sure. New South Wales Blues origin prediction. The video is pinned as the top comment there on YouTube. In the YouTube chat, if you would like to check out my Blues team for 2025. Fifth and last for Moses to put it high. Taken to the back by Fletcher Hunt. Overall, he's been good tonight. Fletcher Hunt filling in for Greg Marju. Big boots to fill, of course, literally and figuratively. But he's done a commendable job. Fletcher Hunt just out-muscled in a lot of scenarios, but we've seen that. We've seen that from a lot of the youngsters coming through. I mean, Jaden Campbell, we saw him get manhandled a lot. Reece Walsh. Fifth and last now is Frizzell. Takes the line on. 30 metres out. Sharp. Puts the kick in over the top. Hunt flying through. Fletcher to Fletcher. But he slips and Ayongi's in space. Brought down 5 metres out from their own line. Slow to get up and play this one, Ayongi. You think he copped an accidental elbow on the way down. Ten out from their own line. Inside the last minute. So the Eels have got this one with 46 seconds left to play. Coming up next, Bulldogs, Roosters, blockbuster of a game as this one spills free and the Knights have got it. They'll get one last chance here for another consolation try. Set restart. Brayley onto Hetherington in midfield. Backs into the defence. 20 out. They go to the right. Gamble to Ponga. Ponga slows down. Brings it back into midfield. 14 seconds to play. Ponga's tripped up and brought down. 20 out. Losing ground there on that play. Gamble will kick. This is the last play of the game. And it's been grounded in goal by the Eels. It was loose on the deck. But Lomax cleans it up. Victory for the Eels. Josh Adokar blowing kisses to the Newcastle crowd. 28 points to 6. They'll be disappointed in that 6. They'll be quite happy with the win, though. Parramatta, 28 points to 6. The first time in season 2025 that I have tipped Parramatta and they've won. Coming up next, Bulldogs versus the Roosters. I've got Bronson Sherry. I've got Marky Mark, Nwanga Nitawase, Viliami Kikau / Angus Crichton, Stephen Crichton / Jacob Kiraz. That's coming up next. Bulldogs versus Roosters. I'm going to pop off for a quick break. And we'll be back live for that game. YouTube, after a few seconds, you should be automatically redirected to the new stream. I've got to get everything set up. TikTok, I'll end it here and we'll be right back. Thank you so much for joining us for this one. Bulldogs, Roosters coming up next right here on the West of World of